Hey everyone, and welcome back for another video. So today I'm going to show you guys my classic LEGO Star Wars minifigure collection. This is going to be a similar series to collecting all the updated LEGO Star Wars figures, but instead it's going to be the classic LEGO Star Wars figures from the three original LEGO games: LEGO Star Wars 1, LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, and of course LEGO Star Wars, the complete saga. So let's jump right into it. So to start off this video, I'm going to show you guys all the classic LEGO Star Wars figures that I already have in my collection. I showed this off in an update video to collecting all the updated LEGO Star Wars minifigures. I mentioned in that video that I started to collect all the classic LEGO Star Wars figures. The only major change to this collection so far is with the addition of the classic Plo Koon minifigure. I bought this off of Brick Rebellion over on Instagram, and it came with like this background that I was able to put right behind Plo Koon, which is really cool, and the figure's covering it, but I actually got the 11th out of 15 of these Plo Koon figures. Brick Rebellion only made 15 of these Plo Koons, and I'm very happy I was able to buy one of them. I'll go in more depth with the Plo Koon figure later in this video. First, I want to show you guys all the figures that I currently have in my collection. And one small change I made to Obi-Wan from episode 3 towards the left of the display, I actually added the headpiece that does not have the headset. I wanted just to have a generic Obi-Wan figure. I didn't want to always have him with the headset, and he's actually holding the headpiece with the headset as well. And also I bought another Anakin Skywalker headpiece so that way I can try and erase the headset from that. Because again, I really don't want these figures to have headsets. I want them without the headsets because I can use them in more stuff. They're really only wearing the headset when they're flying their Jedi Starfighters in episode 3. So the only change I made to this display so far was just the addition of the classic Plo Koon figure. And as you can see, a lot of the other figures in this display are incomplete. You can kind of see that with the clone disguised as a Jedi with just that blank black head. And then with the X-Wing pilots in the front right of the display, they just have like the generic yellow headpiece. And that is because I did place an order to get more minifigure parts to update these figures and finish them off. That is all I have for this display right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the figures that I need to add to this display. So as you can see, here are not all of the figures that I need to add to my collection. These are just the non-custom figures that I need to add to my collection. And so as you can see, starting from left to right, we have 2 of the Phase 2 clone troopers. I know I already have 1 in my display, but I did get 2 more, or I found 1 and then I bought another one. I'm not sure if I'm going to add all my plain Phase 2 clones to the display. I think I'm just only going to have 1 and I'll keep these somewhere else. So right in the center we have a episode 3 clone pilot. I really like the detail it has on the helmet. I've never owned one of these and it's super cool to finally have one to my collection. And then to the right we have some original trilogy figures. We just have a plain stormtrooper, which is kind of weathered, but I'm not too bothered by that. I definitely like the nostalgic feel that I get off of this, or the vibe, I guess you can say, that I get when I see this figure. To the very right, we have a TIE pilot figure, and this one's very interesting because the helmet is just all black, except for the 2 Imperial insignias on the top of the helmet. And it's interesting how the headpiece is just a reddish brown headpiece with no face detail at all. I actually do have this figure already in my display, except for the helmet. You kind of saw it's actually towards the very back next to the Hoth Han Solo figure. And I'll show you guys the updated collection, or the updated display, at the end of this video. So here are all the non-custom classic figures that I need to add to my collection. And so let's move on to the custom figures. So here are all the custom classic LEGO Star Wars figures that I need to add to my display. So starting from left to right, we have Dagobah Luke Skywalker. He comes with 2 heads. The one he has on his body is the smiling face, and then the other one is just the simple Luke Skywalker expression that he has all throughout the video game. And I really like the printing on this figure. He does have a backpack that's printed, so I'll show you guys that when I flip these figures around. And then to the right of Luke, we have Lobot from Cloud City. He's like the partner to Lando Calrissian. And I also really like the printing on this figure. I bought both the Luke and the Lobot from FL Bricks over on Instagram, and they were actually printed by Fig Fab Labs. And to the very right, we have the classic Count Dooku figure from episodes 2 and 3, and I really like the printing on this figure. I like that I finally have a flesh tone classic Count Dooku headpiece. The Count Dooku figure also comes with a cape, and I actually still have that sealed. I'm not going to put it on just yet because I am running low on some minifigure capes, so I'm going to keep that for now, and then later on, once I collect more capes, I'll add them to the figures. And the Count Dooku was actually printed by Fig Fab Labs, but I bought it off of Kid Collectibles over on Instagram. And so let me go ahead and flip these figures around and show you guys some of the back detail. So none of these classic LEGO Star Wars figures have back printing on their torsos. The only one that has back printing on their figure is Lobot with the back head printing, and I really like the console control mechanism that he has on the back of his head. I really don't know why in canon he has that. I think it might have been explained in the Lando comic book series that I read a few years ago, so I might have to reread that to find out, but that's besides the point. Then to the very right, on the back of Luke Skywalker, he has a printed backpack tile piece, and I really like that a lot. I'm happy that FL Bricks was able to include Luke's backpack, so that way I can recreate that iconic level where Yoda is hanging on the backpack while Luke Skywalker is training on Dagobah. So now that I showed you guys all the classic figures that I need to add to my display, I'm going to go ahead and add them to my display and show you guys what the final display looks like. So before I actually put the figures on the display, I do want to show you the Plo Koon more in depth. But before I do that, I want to show you guys the card that it came with that I mentioned earlier. It's really nice. It says TCS Plo Koon number 11 out of 15 and produced by Brick Rebellion over on Instagram. And now I'm going to show you guys the Plo Koon figure more in depth. So here is a closer look at the custom LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga Plo Koon minifigure. And I really love the custom headpiece. I think it looks very accurate to what Plo Koon looks like in the game. And I really like the torso printing. I didn't realize that he was actually tan in the game, so that's kind of interesting to see a tan Plo Koon figure in person. And he has no back printing, but I'm going to show you guys what the back of the custom headpiece looks like. So here's the back of the Plo Koon figure, and there's not that much going on, but I want to show you guys the back of the custom headpiece, as well as I'm going to show you guys the sides of it as well. And I'm trying to be very careful with this figure because I don't want to break the tentacles off the front of the head. But here's a side view of what the figure looks like when he's facing the right side. And then let me flip this over to show you guys the left side of his head. And so overall, I'm very happy with this figure, the way it came out. And it was actually shipped from Australia. So I'm very happy that this was not damaged at all during the shipping process. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to add all the custom and the non-custom classic figures to my display and show you guys what the final product looks like. So as you can see, I put all the figures on the display, and I put all the custom figures on the top, starting with Plo Koon with that background right behind him. I wanted to put all the custom figures so far together, but for the most part, the original trilogy figures are to the right, and then the prequel trilogy figures are to the left. Eventually, as I collect even more figures, I'm going to have to get more display cases because I just simply do not have enough room to put more figures on this display. But I'm overall very happy with all the figures that I have so far. I very much like the collection that I already have, and I can't wait to start collecting more. I'm super happy with the custom figures that I bought. I thought they would not look as good or get damaged during the shipping process, but all of them came to me very secure, and I opened them up and they looked pristine, so I'm very happy about that. This is really all I have for today's video. Definitely let me know down in the comments below what you think of my display so far, as well as my collection, and definitely let me know if you guys are going to start collecting any of the classic LEGO Star Wars figures. I know I'm going to continue that process, and hopefully once I get more in, I can make more update videos like these documenting the process of me trying to collect all the classic LEGO Star Wars figures. But this is going to wrap up this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos. And I'll see y'all in the next video.